Today we're here with Henry Bose at Brushy Creek Waterfowl. He's been raising birds for how many years? Lots of years, 50. Right? More years than I've been raising birds. He's got probably one of the finest collections that I've seen, or probably ever, up here in just below Austin, Texas, right?
Right. I got them a few years ago. Mike Levick had them, and when they weren't, they weren't nearly in demand like that.
So yeah, I think I remember like 30 years ago, like SeaWorld in Florida used to have a bunch of them there, and I brought some in from Europe, and they bred like crazy back in the early 90s.
Yes.
And nobody had any interest in them. In fact, I never sold any of them.
I was able to sell some, but no one had any interest.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then, a few years back, they discovered that they're endangered, and they report they're endangered in the wild. And of course, we get some brought into America, which I was really relieved because it's really an awesome bird.
Yeah, they're beautiful. The sun hits them.
Yeah, and it's weird because they look different depending on the angle of the light and everything.
Yeah,
but
they don't look so great here, but if they were in a sun.
But they brought these things in. There's a couple of different batches brought in, and they bred like crazy for a couple of years, and it seems like they've kind of fizzled out. Hopefully that luck has changed a little bit, the past year or so. So we'll see what happens with them. So how deep do you say these ponds are here?
These are about 4 feet.
And it's all concrete right down the bottom,
all
right?
Concrete.
And you told me I think you change them like once a year or something like that?
Once a year, exactly.
But you got water flowing through these things
constantly
all the time. And these rocks here, you got landscape that stick out. Is those natural rocks?
No, yeah, well they are natural further up the hill, but they were brought in.
Yeah, but it's not a man-made rock that we got.
No, those are natural rocks.
What is that? Is it a limestone?
It's
or?
limestone.
Do you have that dolomite down here too, or is it just limestone?
Limestone. And this was at one time under the ocean. So this was all...
Like 100 years ago?
No, more than 100 years ago.
Well, it'll be under the ocean again shortly, because I guess all this is subsiding down here.
Yeah.
How many of these little ponds are?
Well, I have 3
here?
major ponds, okay? And then I have connecting streams. And then I have 3 smaller ponds. And the smaller ponds are shallower.
And
the 2.5 feet.
The one thing that I thought was unique our last visit here is you got a lot of species that would be potentially aggressive in a smaller aviary, right. But because you've got all these other ponds,
the bullies can separate.
You separate out, so you don't get a lot of aggression, at least on a regular basis here.
But Clyde, I don't buy ones that are, I don't buy like Cape shellbucks and
right.
things that you just can't possibly keep.
Well, you had magpie geese and stuff down here too. At one point, didn't you?
I did. Remember, I was talking to you about.
Yeah, I thought you were. Yeah, that's right. I got some still if you need some.
And you thought they'd fight.
Yeah.
When they got to breeding age.
That's right. Yeah.
Jake was always saying, "Hey, you can get those."
Yeah.
But probably not. And,
They're just a really cool bird though, and yeah, that would be the
so
problem.
Prehistoric and
Yeah. Have your red-breasted geese ever done anything down here?
no, not really. They will, once in a while they'll lay, but see, they wait until it's so hot, because of the day length.
Yep.
And by the time I have such a snake issue that I never can get the eggs before the snakes come.
What do you got? Those rat snakes down here?
Rat snakes, huge rat snakes.
Yeah, we've got them.
They snow from the.
We've got them like 6 feet long.
Yeah, we do too.
They're probably that big around down in North Carolina, and they get in. I had one sitting in there eating. I think it was black belly tree duck eggs one year, and he ate like 40 eggs in the matter. I mean, the good thing is, I think overall with our farm down in North Carolina, we kill like 30. I don't like up in New York. I have garter snakes getting in my,
I know.
and I don't bother with them
because they don't bother anything,
but
right?
Down in North Carolina, we just kind of have a no tolerance policy. I think we eliminate probably 14 snakes a year on average. Maybe probably varies between 10 and probably 15, 18 snakes a year. So in the big scheme of things, we lose eggs. It's not it's not unmanageable.
Massive amount, right?
Yeah. So most of these birds are pinion.
Most of them are pinion, right?
But you do have some full-wing birds.
I
in
do.
here.
If they're non-migratory, if you cut them the first year, they stay on the ground.
But that's important. I remember when I was a kid, I went and I got a pair of Hottentot teal. I don't know, you remember Floyd Dennis up in Albany? He used to be a big waterfowl breeder back in the 70s and 80s. He had these, flocks of tree ducks flying around all over the place. And he had, a couple of little small teal and stuff. So I get it in my mind, I'm going to buy a pair of these. And Hottentot teals were really rare back then.
Yes.
So I think I paid like, and of course money was
a different thing.
Yeah. So I paid like $450 for this pair of Hottentot teal. I want them flying, I want to see them flying in and out. So I bring them home. I open up the box and the bird's off.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you had to get them established and
acclimated. Absolutely.
You told me a story. You said you don't keep shell ducks, and there's
shell ducks fly.
There's another shell duck over there though. It's not a. It's one of those aggressive ruddy shell ducks over there.
I can keep them.
Oh, they don't have any.
No, I can keep ruddy shell ducks. But any shell duck, beyond that, I can keep Australian, ruddy, and Raja.
And then you have problems with other ones.
And the other ones, I haven't even tried them, but I understand they're horrible.
I mean, like the paradise shell ducks and the Australian shell ducks. I've had males that just come up to you and they actually hurt pretty bad because they pound your shins. But then the birds we have now, they don't even come near us. They won't come near us. But yeah, they can be very aggressive, and I don't have any problems with the capes any more than the ruddy shell ducks. They're kind of the same thing. Did you do anything on the Raja shell ducks?
I didn't raise them last year, but I've raised them every year.
So back in if you remember back in the 80s, you could actually get redback or blackback.
I don't remember ever having a red one,
but there was some around. You could actually get them, and now I haven't seen them. But of course, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. That are non-existent. I shouldn't say I haven't seen them. They're non-existent now. Yeah. You get like Andean teal and Argentine teal and stuff like that. They're not even Australian gray teal. Well, you had that was one of the most interesting finds that I've seen in 30 years. When I was here last time, you had some of the gray teal hybrids that you had gotten into something
from the chestnut. Yeah,
and I wish I could have found out who had them, because that would have been a possibility that they had some parental stock up there.
Right.
But
another bird that Jacob has got now is Cape
shovelers. Yeah, we used to have Cape shovelers here, and I had some. And
I bought a pair from Mike Welbeck, and they did well.
Yeah.
And I thought they were striking.
Yeah, I think so too.
But at that point, nobody cared about them. I mean, the common shoveler was so much more attractive.
And it's actually kind of what's happened now. You know, these Argentine red shovelers are a very attractive bird, but they're so unpredictable in their nesting. You know, you can they'll lay a lot of eggs, and then they'll just they're not good. It's weird because they're virtually the same bird as.
I know.
I mean, all the shovelers are virtually the same bird.
Yes,
you know,
right.
shovelers and cinnamon teal and blue-winged teal, all the blue-winged ducks are pretty much the same in their behaviors and their physiology and anatomy. And these red shovelers, they lay earliest in the year. They're they start laying like right about now, or within a couple of weeks. And the northern shovelers don't start laying until mid-May, end of May, or whatever. They can continue till June or even July, and it just baffles me. But the northern shovelers are also good parents. Good sitters, good, relatively good parents. They're just not very prolific as far as dependability and laying and stuff. But
on northern shovelers, I've kept them all my life, and I bet you I haven't raised a clutch but once every 7 or 8 months, 7 or 8 years. I mean, but I can raise the Argentine, I can raise the Cape, although I only have one pair, so I don't really know. And I can raise the Australian, but I can't get and they usually don't lay. They just don't lay, the common shoveler.
I guess that's kind of my point. I mean, you have a little bit different experience than I've had, but these things just, it just baffles me because my experience that those Australian or Argentine shovelers are so unpredictable.
Well, they are unpredictable too. I didn't disagree with that.
Yep.
They don't lay every year like you're going to.
But I find, I mean, we typically get the northern shovelers laying every year, though.
Yeah, see, they just don't do well here in this environment. You probably have high grass.
And that's kind of weird. I mean, not that this is their nesting range, but you have wild shovelers down here by the hundreds,
exactly.
by the thousands.
By the thousands, exactly.
And we don't even get them up in New York or
yeah.